All right, our hangout is live. Welcome to 724, week number 7 with myself, Frank Foy, Brian, and Yvonne. And first, I'll start us off and just say that my name is Frank Foy. I'm the owner of a company called F2O Communications. I'm a business coach, motivational speaker, and aspiring author, etc., etc., as the list goes on. And just as an icebreaker to open us up, what I want to do is I want to ask the both of you what your favorite birthday gift of all time was that you can recall. I'll go first, and mine was when someone actually surprised me with, she blindfolded me, surprised me with going skydiving. So that was just an amazing, amazing time. And that was out in California, so very, very exciting time for me. And I'll jump it over to Brian.
This is hard. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. The first thing that comes to mind, I don't even know if it was a birthday or a Christmas present, and this is going to sound corny, but a globe. I got a globe when I was like 7. Like kids were getting toys and stuff, but I remember getting a globe, and at first thinking it was weird, but then I had it like for the next 15 years probably, and I looked at it all the time, and it kind of opened up some horizons for me. So that's the first thing that pops in my head, so I'll go with that.
Nice. Introduce yourself for us.
I apologize. Brian Moore. I am, career-wise, I am a business development manager for a Microsoft partner. I have been with that company for about 6 years now. Otherwise, I live in downtown Philadelphia, and I don't have as long of a resume as Frank, but I like to stay busy, and I like to enjoy the city and enjoy my life as much as possible outside of work as well.
Wonderful. Hey, before we jump to Yvonne, do me a favor, Brian, just so we can see a little clearer. Can you bring your camera tilted down a little bit? There you go. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yvonne,
let me try to sit up a little higher.
You look marvelous, bro. Yvonne, what about you?
I'm Yvonne Wright. I am a communications professional. I currently work for a credit union out here in Chester County, where I have made my home for the last 15 years. Okay, so to the question, I've been very fortunate. I've had a lot of really great little surprises and awesome little gifts for my birthday. Most notably, last year on my big birthday, I went on an awesome cruise with my family. But I have to say, the one that sticks out in my mind the most is when I was turned 13 and my parents threw me a surprise birthday party, and I had no clue it was happening. So I think that was the best gift that I had for my birthday.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing. So, just wanted to go into something good that's happened to us over this week since the last time that we've seen each other. Kind of our surprise of the week, or just something good. And for me, that was I'm pretty open on social media as far as my business page goes. Though my personal page, when it comes to Facebook, I kind of keep it a little more private, and actually set my settings so that if we are friends, you actually can't even post on my wall, right? And today's my birthday, right? So it's kind of cool, exciting. And you know how like traditionally when it's your birthday, people just post like craziness on your wall, and it's almost as though, and I hate to say this, but though it's almost as though it's phony love for your birthday. People you haven't heard from in over years, or since the last time they posted on your birthday wall last year. And you just get the influx, and you're trying to keep up with it all, and you I don't know, for me at least, I kind of feel bad if I don't say thank you, thank you, thank you. So that didn't happen this year, right? Because nobody can post on my wall. I kind of, like I said, changed my settings, and here's what was the surprise was all the unphony love that I got, when the birthday wishes that I got for my birthday, in that they came via private message on Facebook because they were my friends and they thought enough to actually say, you know what, I'm not just going to take the way out where everybody can see it and it's public. I had the influx of messages today, and text messages and calls, just made me feel good. It made me feel good to see that people, even though they couldn't do the whole wall posting, they were able to still reach me and let me know that they were thinking of me on my birthday. So that was a big surprise for me. How about you, Brian?
Birthday.
What's that, Yvonne?
Happy birthday. I remember
Oh,
you
thank
told
you.
us that on day one.
Thank you.
You have a good memory, Yvonne. So my surprise of the week so I've been traveling the past week. I was in Pittsburgh last time we spoke, and then I was in LA from Thursday till Monday. So my surprise of the week was I liked both places much better than I thought I would. So just being from Philadelphia, being from the Northeast, you have a certain perception in your mind of being from Philadelphia. You have a certain perception, negative perception of Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh people, but also of the West Coast and LA being too laid back and lazy and stuff. But Pittsburgh was much nicer and cleaner and more walkable than I expected. And LA, I absolutely fell in love with. I can truly say it's my favorite place I've ever been to in this country and outside of Istanbul for personal relationship reasons in the world that I've ever been to. I absolutely loved it, and I absolutely would love to move there someday. And if you would have told me I was going to feel this way 5 years ago, I would have thought you were crazy because I just thought LA was totally not my style. But
Cool.
maybe I've changed. Maybe I just opened my eyes, but it is.
That was cool. That's cool. You got a hip, relaxed spirit. I love it.
Yeah, I'm all about it right now.
That's cool. That's cool. What about you, Yvonne?
I feel like Brian's going to be on the move here pretty soon.
Yeah, and my girlfriend too. She's like extra motivated to work hard and get the heck out of this city.
That's awesome. My surprise of the week actually happened about half an hour ago. I remember I told you guys several weeks ago that I was having a little bit of a confrontation with a friend. Well, I spoke with a mutual friend today, and it was very surprising to me that a lot of the things that I revealed to her were not revealed by the other party. And I felt good about that. I felt like I was very cautious in my wording, and I was kind of really trying to take the high road. And I was just a little surprised by her reaction in not really knowing the full details. And of course, there are two sides to every story and that kind of thing. But seeing her reaction to my side was surprising to me.
That's amazing how things work out. I love it. Just to see the evolution of that story from a couple weeks ago. That's really cool.
Yep.
Really cool. Really cool. So, hey, I'm just going to jump in and throw kind of like a challenge at you guys. Let me move over. Kind of move my position here. So, what I want to do is throw something that I'm kind of having a challenge with in my life right now, and just want to try to get some feedback from you guys. And that's, believe it or not, being in the walk of life that I am, and going out there and putting myself out on the limb, and kind of living transparently and in the nude as a business coach, motivational speaker, so on and so forth. You wouldn't think that I'd be someone that would run into a challenge that I'm about to express. So that's the beauty of something like our Hangouts have been, our 724 Hangouts have been. I feel comfortable saying and getting your advice about, I'm a big believer in we get what we want, right? And, if we think it comes true, so I'll give you an example. I just the other day, I would say 2 to 3 days ago, I was driving in my Jeep with my daughters. It was a beautiful day out, and I had taken the doors off of my Jeep, and we went and I took them to a place called the Blue Hole, which is you kind of have to. The only way you can get there is in a Jeep, and they loved it. They had a good time. And while I was driving back, I didn't put my seatbelt on, and and as I'm driving, I went, "Why don't you have your seatbelt on, Frank?" And like a minute later, I got pulled over. It was Memorial Day, so yeah, it was 2 days ago. A minute later, I got pulled over. And these are the types of things that I believe so strongly in. If you think it happens, And the police officer was very nice. I'm a veteran. He let me go, slapped me on the wrist. I was very, very grateful. So here's the challenge that I'm having: is the head trash that's been going on for me. I need to get. I am a positive guy, though. I've been noticing that maybe just over the past, I'd say, week, and I can't necessarily pinpoint it as to why. Though I am so, like I say, such a firm believer as to, if I think something had happened, I've been thinking not so positive things, and I can't necessarily pinpoint as to why. Um, and when I say not so positive things, I don't necessarily mean drastic, terrible things. Don't call the police. What I'm getting at is like, oh, I'm not wearing my seatbelt. Frank, you should be doing that. Um, and then I get pulled over. I've been in my head also, with and I do wake. If I'm all over the place, I apologize. I do wake up and do affirmations. I have gotten away from a little bit, and I don't know. It's just I feel like I've been beating myself up, and it could be maybe because today's my birthday, and I'm kind of saying like, wow, I really wish I were here when I'm here, right? And we all have goals for ourselves personally, professionally. I just look forward at my future, and though I believe that life is long, not short, I still feel that time ticking away, and I'm going, and I'm just kind of in my own head. So I'd love to throw at you guys and just say, like, if there's any feedback that you could give me to kind of just help me get out of that head funk, it'd be much obliged. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll take it. Um, the head funk. I think I can relate to that. I think everybody can relate to that. I think maybe you really are feeling it at this point right now because it is your birthday, because you look back at the last year, the accomplishments, or maybe the things that you haven't been able to accomplish just yet, and then you're looking out from a year from now, where do you want to be at that point? I think that's natural. I think most people probably experience that at some point. I know generally, around your birthday time, you're supposed to feel elated, and I really do think that there's a psychology to it where sometimes you don't. You feel, wow, I'm getting older. That life is, 1 year shorter for me. Why didn't I do this past year? Or why didn't I, like little things like that. I really do think that there is some psychology to it. I haven't quite looked into it, but I really do think that that does have some sort of an effect, and that might very well be the reason why you are feeling like that. I don't think that you should at all beat yourself up over a mistake that you made, or any mistakes that you've made. I think that you should reflect on everything that you've done and always use it as an opportunity to have learned from it.
Love it, love it. Thank you so much. Words of wisdom spoken from Yvonne. Brian, top it, bro.
I can. I mean, it's a lot of what I was thinking of saying. Really is, I agree. I very much analyze things too much, and I get caught up in my own head and get into those times. And I honestly don't know what I've done to get out of it. I think it just, you don't know how you got into this situation, and the same way you don't know how you're going to get out of it necessarily. It's not like there's a silver bullet. I think that you just need to go on with your life and chalk it up to it being your birthday and being, looking back, like Yvonne said, on the year and what you wish you would have done. I think it's a natural thing to happen. I think that the most important thing to add is to not think that there's anything wrong with you. There would be something wrong with you if you weren't assessing, if you weren't kind of dialed into yourself. So that's going to help you far more often than it's not. So just feel like you're okay. Feel like, as long as the things you're assessing about yourself are going to motivate you and move you forward, and if I know anything about you, I'm sure they will, and go out and accomplish them. And that's it.
Cool. Hey guys, I really do appreciate that. Sometimes putting yourself out there like that, for me at least, being that vulnerable, it's like I don't ever want to come off as weak. Though we all go through certain trying times in our own head. So no, I appreciate it. It makes sense. Also goes hand in hand with what the topic of the week is. And did both of you have the opportunity to take a look at the 7-minute prep video that I sent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So first reactions from the both of you. Whoever wants to go first, I would just love to hear just initial reactions or takeaways from the video.
I'll take it again. I'm going to put myself out there. I am inherently a very anxious person and actually suffer from clinical obsessive compulsive disorder.
Mm.
And I found that spot to be so amazing for knowing me and the kinds of things like that when you start talking about them and other people are hearing you, they're like, that's crazy. Stop it. Stop it. Just don't think of it. Don't go there. Don't bring your mind there. Just stop it. And it's exactly it was just perfect. It was perfect for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I'm glad you felt that way, and I also want to commend you for sharing that with us. That's a huge thing. So I'm sure it's something difficult to battle with. Brian, what was your kind of takeaway, or what did you get from the video?
Yeah, my initial reaction was, I agree, obviously, and obviously it was a satire on how life is and how we treat people that have, legitimate things that they're dealing with. And I can, while I can't say that I have anything that I can relate to personally, my initial reaction was that from a society standpoint, now that I'm dating someone that is from a different culture, I'm more so dialed into how individualistic our society is and how no one sits down and just talks to someone, and how our society's reaction lots of times to these, again, legitimate things is just stop, or not even to say stop it, to just turn a shoulder and look the other way. No one wants to confront these things, and I don't think that's helping. So that's kind of my maybe bigger picture than what this was intending, but that's just my reaction to the video itself. It's just, again, we ignore these things too much. We don't confront them. No one wants to deal with it. Everyone just wants to take care of their own and let everyone else deal with their own thing on their own time. It's not their problem.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Great points. I would have to agree. The humor in the video, in that Bob Hope was delivering, right? Was Bob Hope? What is it? Sorry, Bob Hope.
Bob
Newhart.
Newhart,
right? Bob Newhart. And I just found that video to be fantastic in the delivery. That for me, I would lean in both of your favors in what you say, and it kind of it's a video that I share when I teach, and when I teach about failure, when I teach about, I call it, sucking at life, because sometimes, look, I said a quote that I posted on my business page recently. It might have even been today, and it's funny how when things are going on in our lives, much like the challenge I shared with you, if I stopped doing everything that I sucked at, well, then I would never be good at anything, like ever would never be good at anything. I'm challenging myself right now to ride a unicycle, and I'm not going to go so far as to show you all the bumps and bruises that are on my body right now, but it's been a banner week, me trying to ride this thing. And I have an option, and I'll use the unicycle as the analogy. Right now in my life, challenging myself to do something that I necessarily am not that good at, and cannot do, whether that be in life to cope with something, right? Whether that be a physical or a mental condition, or a simple head trash, where I choose to say that I cannot do something, or the fears of not being able to do something. And that video reminds me always to just stop it. There's absolutely, because it was funny to me in that video. So the humor in it is just stop it. So when the patient continues, yeah, but no, we don't go there. And that was the beauty of it, where I continuously have to remind myself that, going back to the unicycle, I'll fall, and I don't know if you could even just see a bruise that I have on my arm right now, right here. It's just enormous, and I could sit there and say, well, I don't want to fall on that arm again because it hurts. so maybe I shouldn't try to ride the unicycle today. Well, no, we don't go there. You know, just stop your whining, if you will. Stop your complaining. And I'll put it in phrase that I use is stop your excuses. There are no excuses. Because if you really want to do it, go get yourself some elbow pads, right? Start to ride the unicycle if you think you're gonna, you know, hit your elbow again. I say all that to say, what else in life are we all, you know, sucking at or not doing well at, and just making excuses for ourselves to not push through and complete them, right? And it's very often that I see it in my life and in other people's lives that I work with, that they're quick to just throw up that yes, but. And I'll you know, my final takeaway for that video and topic is no, we don't do that. You know, make sure that we push through in anything that we want, in any area of our life, and just don't make excuses, because it's okay to not be good at something at first. It's okay to be fearful of something, and understand. I'll say my quote once again, in that if I stopped doing everything that I sucked at, I would never be good at anything. Push through, fight that adversity. All right. All right. So what I want to do is go through our whiffle, and then we will do our takeaway. Brian is up for our final week next week, which is crazy that these last 8 weeks have went so fast. So, Brian, what I'll ask from you is to just whiffle first, and then Yvonne, and then I'll go. And then, Brian, if you could just give us a takeaway for the week and close us out.
Sure. So my whiffle for the week is something I realized last night. I was out to dinner with a friend of mine who just got her PhD yesterday, and I was talking to her family and some other folks that were there, and I realized that I really enjoy those conversations with people that are well educated and doing something with their lives. And I had a conversation with my girlfriend afterwards that I just need to surround myself with those types of people more. So I need to. That's something that personally I'm going to make a concerted effort to. A lot of the people I grew up around aren't doing too much, whether it's they're just not to that age or they're just it's not in the cards for them for whatever reason. But I need to seek out some better people to surround myself with so that I can be motivated and push myself a bit more. So,
thanks for expressing.
Excellent. Okay, my whiffle. Based on the topic and what you shared today, Frank, I would say I think it's very eye-widening to kind of share these types of topics and to talk about them with a diverse group of people. Just to kind of say, you know, don't stop yourself from moving forward with any challenges, but stop yourself when you need to, when you know that that's going to be a barrier. So I like the topic a lot, and I found it interesting, and I dig it.
Thanks for expressing. So what I feel like expressing is that I truly am and do feel honored to be on the 7th week, and I really look forward to our final week together. I look forward to continuing to connect and grow with the both of you, hopefully in the future. And I don't know, I just had a great time prepping for tonight, and it's just really been fun. So, Brian, you have about 30 to 45 seconds if you want to bring us home and just give us your takeaway and close us out.
Sure. I mean, no real takeaways beyond what Yvonne just said. I mean, it was an interesting topic, and it's funny to me. It's interesting to me how that video, which is just a skit, a comedic skit, took each of us in very different directions. So I think it's a very good topic, and it was well suited for this type of forum. You just imagine if there was 1,000 people that saw that, 1,000 people thought 1,000 different things. So, good topic there. Last week, like Frank said, is next week, 9:15 on Wednesday. Let me know if you have any conflicts, but otherwise, let's move forward with that and close it out strong. All right. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
See you guys next week.